We're caving. We're doing it. My heart is beating so fast. Where's the digital one? Digital. This one will do.
We'll do some slow thirsty.
Ew, sick. Oh, my heart is pounding. Ooh, a pink one?
Means you're alive.
Okay, if there are 2 lines. Pregnant. Even if they are very faint. One of the lines. Oh, I'm shaking. We're gonna flip one at a time. My heart is pounding. Okay, ready? 2, 3. It's not. It's not a line at all. Is it? Let's see this one. Ready? No. You're kidding. That's not even a faint line whatsoever. Because there would be something for sure. At this stage.
That doesn't seem real.
Oh my gosh. I'm shocked. Dang. Maybe it wasn't. I don't know. I just don't think it worked. Alright, you guys. It is day 9 post-transfer. And we took that pregnancy test on day 7. It was a really rough day. Day 8 was also rough. Just kind of trying to wrap my head around what was happening. I was really expecting that test to be positive. And I just frankly did not feel like filming at all. I took another test this morning, which I didn't even film. I just felt like I knew it was going to be negative, but I wanted to verify because I didn't want any false hope. I had a little bit of false hope, I think, still, like, oh, maybe it was just too early, but, like, truly I feel as though it should have been positive if it was going to be a positive transfer. So, anyway, I took a test this morning and it was negative, and so my blood test is tomorrow morning. I have really bad cramps today. I think I'm starting my period. I feel like I've had a few days now to wrap my head around this. I don't know. I called my doctor today, the doctor's office, just to see if, like, I still need to be doing the shots because I've been still doing them every day. And they obviously are not fun and they hurt, so if I'm not pregnant and I don't need to keep doing them, like, I don't want to do them tonight. So I'm guessing they're gonna say just keep doing it until you come in for the blood test and we absolutely verify. But the chance of me being actually pregnant after 2 completely stark negative tests, I think is very, very low. Basically nothing, because HCG should be detected in my system totally if I'm pregnant. So anyway, I still did the shot this morning and last night. I've been doing them still. I'm taking all the medication I should be taking, but it's even harder to take the hit when I know that it's pretty much for nothing. Getting out of the house, and that'll be good. I've just been trying to stay busy. And I did tell Chelsea, I asked her if she could come over, and I told her, I was like, I was gonna surprise you. I feel like I'm gonna cry just even talking about that, but I was like, I was gonna surprise you that I was pregnant, like, next week, but I did my transfer and it didn't work. Because I just feel like so lonely going through it and nobody knowing, and not being able to, like, talk or just be honest about my feelings. We're going in a parking garage right now, so it's gonna be dark. Anyway, and obviously she was like, she just felt so bad and it was good to talk to her, and I'm glad she knows now. So that's the update, and we'll see tomorrow when I do the blood test, or if they maybe tell me I don't have to. I don't know. I'm waiting for a call back from them. I am home. I showered, did some skincare. I'm about to dry my hair. Tomorrow's the blood draw. I haven't started my period yet, but I'm super crampy. I'm gonna just do the shot tonight, just get it over with. It'll be the last one for a little bit, so I'm just gonna do it because they told me, I called my doctor today and they were like, basically just keep doing it until we confirm that you're not pregnant. So I have to go in tomorrow. I'm just like, ugh, I didn't want to have to go in and like get a call with bad news, even though I already know that's what's happening. It's like, ugh, I'm just like not looking forward to it, you know, but whatever, it is what it is. And I don't know, maybe my blood results will like tell them something. I have absolutely no idea, but maybe that's how it works. I'm not sure if there's like anything they can point to, like, oh, these levels were low, so next transfer we'll do this or something. I have no clue. Anyway, I'm gonna dry my hair and then I'm gonna get some dessert and then I'm gonna go to bed. It's day 10. I went for my blood test this morning. They had to poke me 3 different times and I'm all bruised on my arm, and the test was negative. As we knew it would be. It was not a surprise. I feel like, I don't know. I have been trying to think about if I'm happy I took that test on day 7 and like if I would do that again or not. And I kind of feel like I would. I feel like next time, maybe I'll wait until day 8 or day 9, but at that point, from like pretty much everything I've read, it should be accurate if you're taking a specific pregnancy test. If you're taking a first response test with the lines, like you should see a faint line. This is what I've, based off of everything I've read, like there are outliers. Like sometimes once in a blue moon, your HCG could not be showing up or something, or you could get like a faulty test, or it could be expired, and then you surprisingly your blood test shows you're pregnant. But it's very rare, and obviously it's true for me too. Like I got absolutely, there was not even a faint line at all, and so I just knew it was done. There was gonna be a moment of heartbreak in this process when I figured out it was negative, and I'm glad that I had that moment just like with me and Leif. And I'm glad that I had a few days to like process that information before getting a call from the doctor, because I feel like that actually would have been very jarring. And this is just me personally. I think a lot of girls have different opinions. I've seen some girls that are like I said, they test every day and they're like, they want to know every bit of the process. And then other girls are like, oh, I don't test at all. Like I just wait for the doctor to call me so I can have like the definitive answer. I guess I just liked knowing like what was in store rather than just like waiting on pins and needles all day, you know, to hear from the doctor for like hours. That just would have stressed me out, I think, even more. So I'm glad that, like, I guess I did it the way I did it. It was going to be sad regardless, but I feel like it was kind of nice to like be a little bit prepared. I haven't spoken with my actual doctor yet because he was not in this weekend, but he's going to give me a call probably on Monday to like talk through next steps and figure out what we want to do about doing the second transfer. I don't know when we're gonna do it. I don't know if I'm gonna go immediately into it. I still haven't started my period, which I think that also when you're doing the shots, it's kind of like not stops your period, but like once you stop all the medication, then your period will probably come back. I'm anticipating getting it really soon. And they also said that period will be like much heavier and worse than other periods because of all the stuff that I've been doing, all the medication and whatever. I'm not gonna get into it, but I'm like not looking forward to that either. And I was so I really thought it was gonna work. I really let myself go there. I think it's really hard for me to like let go. I'm like a very realistic person, which makes it very hard for me to be like super positive and like this is gonna work. Like I'm so disappointed because I felt like I let myself be that way for this transfer. Like I allowed myself to just be so blissfully positive. Truly, I told Leif pretty much for that first week, once the week mark hit, I started feeling like doubt creep in, and that was when I was telling you guys like, oh, I'm kind of worried, and then I tested and it was negative. But like up until that point, I don't know how to explain it. I told Leif, you could not give me an anxious feeling if you tried. I feel so confident, I feel so sure, and I feel so excited. To have it not work, like it was so shocking and jarring. I think it's not 100% guaranteed, obviously, But I will say, like, my embryo that we transferred was the best quality it could have been. Like, it was the best graded that there is available. And my uterine lining, my doctor said, I've done 5 transfers today. Yours is the best I've seen. Like, it's gorgeous. It's perfect. The thickness of it, everything. Like, it was whatever. And then with my age and my health, like, everything just felt truly like it was aligning. I was talking to my friend Haley about this, and I was just saying, like, if I could see the future and I knew that in, you know, if you show me a picture in 5 years and I have 2 kids or something, I'm not gonna like sweat this. Like, yeah, this sucks. I can like feel my feelings, but it happened for me. That's awesome to know that it will happen. When you have no evidence that it will ever happen, like when all of your experiences have been negative. We'd done 3 IUIs, they were all unsuccessful. Now we did this round of IVF, it was unsuccessful. It's super hard to remain just like positive with like this, just like, oh yeah, it'll happen when it happens. Like, it starts to make me feel panicked, like, oh my gosh, I know I'm young. It's just when you've never seen a literal positive pregnancy test, you just don't even think it's a possibility. That's how it is for me at this point. So now I feel like I'm jaded, and it's gonna be so hard for me to just be like, I'm so excited for this next round. I'm like, no, I'm terrified. Like, I'm terrified that it's not gonna work again. It sucks so bad. And again, I know this is the first one, and it's so possible it will work. I know in the future, but I'm having a hard time even wanting to go right into this next transfer. I don't know if we will. I will guard my heart a little bit more next time, that's for sure, because for this transfer, I had like mentally planned so much. Like, I knew what month, like I kind of knew the due date, and I was like so excited for that time of year. Whatever, I just feel like in the end I'll have what I need, and maybe not specifically what I wanted, like timeline wise, and I'm trying to just be okay with that. I said I'm gonna give myself today and tomorrow to decide. You want to come over here? What I want to do as far as the transfer, if I want to start it up again, because if I do, then I'm starting shots again in like just a few days. So I'm like, do I want to do this all again? Just boom, boom, boom. Do I give myself a month off? Because I'm super sore from all these injections. So I'm like, maybe I give my body like a month to kind of recuperate and then get going. But I don't know. We'll see. All right, guys, it is time for a fertility update because it has been actually a few weeks, I think, since I've filmed anything. I just pulled up to Pilates, by the way, and I have only a few minutes to chat. But basically, this month I'm not doing a transfer. I'm just doing like a test cycle, basically, to do run a bunch of tests and see if there's anything that they can pick up from these tests that indicate why it might not have worked. So the actual procedure testing that I'm getting done, is next week. It's in a few days, but I've been on just like medication. I've been getting blood work done, and I did like a cheek swab test, like all these different tests, and I got my results from my blood work done. I had to get 15 vials of blood taken, and it was to test for like autoimmune diseases and a bunch of different stuff that could have caused like me not being able to the embryo not being able to implant, like if there was any reason that they can point to within these specific blood tests that they were running. And there was nothing that they could see. Everything was normal, which is honestly, it's good. It's really good news, but it's also like, I almost like want there to be something that we can point to where it's like, oh, that was the reason. Okay, we just have to get on medicine for that or something, you know? But that being said, like this specifically, like testing for all those autoimmune diseases, I was hoping that they would be normal. I'm grateful for the positive result, but it doesn't give us any answers as to why it didn't work. But the procedure is really the thing that like tells us, is your uterine lining receptive during this specific time? Because some people are pre-receptive, some people are post-receptive. So I could fall into that category, and they could say, oh, that's probably why it didn't work. We need to give you an extra day of medication, and then that would kind of solve it. They could also come back and say, that was normal, you're receptive, so we don't know. It's just good to get answers regardless, I think. So I'm happy we're doing this like test month cycle. But I did want to talk about the fact that within the month, so actually within the 2 weeks, so there's like a 2-week wait before you find out if you're pregnant, and after the embryo transfer. So really it's been 2 weeks since I've like filmed anything, because I filmed at that point. Within 2 weeks, 3 of my best friends have told me they're pregnant. And honestly, can't even comprehend the timing of this. Like, it's really crazy, just that it was so close to my failed embryo transfer. Frankly, I have been very depressed, like, to put it lightly. I don't want to cry again. I'm so sick of crying, you guys. Like, my eyes, I feel like, are permanently swollen. Like, I have cried every day for like the past month. I've just been so emotional, also because I'm on medication again, I'm on hormones again, and like, I cannot believe that within 2 weeks of my failed like IVF transfer, 3 of the closest people to me are like, I'm pregnant, and they feel bad about the timing as well. It's not like they're just like all, you know, they're aware of me, but like, it's so hard. I have to go now because I need to go to Pilates. I'll talk about this topic later maybe. I just don't want to paint the picture that I'm like so positive and like I'm unaffected. The past few weeks of my life have been the hardest, like, that I can remember in a long time. Our due dates would have been like weeks apart, and like they're all pregnant together again, and that already has happened, like, with their first kids, and now they're all moving on to like having more kids, and it's happening again where it's like I'm still not able to get pregnant, and it's so frustrating and so hard. I really need to go because I'm gonna like miss my Pilates class, but we'll talk about this. We'll talk about this soon. Okay, sorry, because I had my class. Right after my class, I went to turn my camera on and it was blinking, and I was like, this is gonna be dying soon, so I don't wanna be like stressed when I'm talking about this subject. The point is, I've just had a really rough few weeks. You know, when our IUIs didn't work 2 summers ago, like, I definitely kind of fell into a sad like state of mind because I thought that they would work and they didn't. But I think I always kind of held on to like IVF is the answer for us. This failed transfer gave me a huge feeling of uncertainty now. Like, I just felt like that was gonna work. And again, I know it doesn't work forever on the first try, but I think everything combined, I just thought that it would. Me being of good health and good age, the embryo being great, the uterine lining being perfect to my doctor's standards, and himself just having such high rates and being very successful. Like, I just was like, oh, boom, 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 we're ready to go. What I wanted to talk about with like my friends being pregnant is just like truly how hard it is. And I think the first round, when they were all having their first babies, like, I had probably like six friends that were pregnant at the exact same time. I had been trying for even longer than most of them had like tried in general, like when they all were getting pregnant. And so I already was like, oh dang, like, but I wouldn't say I was like so devastated. I was sad for sure. I wanted to experience it with them, especially as like first time moms. Like, I was excited to hopefully go through that process at the same time as my friends. And so I was like, okay, that sucks, but like, I was kind of finding the pros of the situation. Like, well, it'll be awesome because, you know, my friends can give me all the advice. Like, when I get pregnant, they'll know all their favorite products. You know, it's kind of nice to be able to like watch your friends go through something and you learn from them, and they can teach you and like they can help you. But I think now that they're moving on for like the second time, I've been trying this entire time, and I've been going through like all these shots and all of this stuff and paying so much money to get this result, and like I still can't, and they're all again moving on, and I'm still just, it's just me and Leif. Like, I found myself being genuinely just like mad. It's so layered because we love our friends so much and we're so happy for them. We want good things for them. We're just like sad for ourselves. I think for the past literal 4 years at this point, I have pushed a lot of those feelings to the side, being like, you need to be a good friend. This isn't about you. And it's not. Like, them getting pregnant has nothing to do with me. Logically, yeah, I shouldn't compare myself to them. They have a different life than me. Still, I'm a human being. It's okay to have emotions. Like, when you're working really hard for something and you want something, and, you know, your friends seem to get it with ease, it's a fun thing for them to like plan their family and be like, okay, we want like a 2-year age gap. Like, let's try and get pregnant. Oh, like, it worked. Perfect. It's like, you know, I don't have that luxury, and I probably never will, and that's okay. It's just, it's hard. I even like hesitate sharing this because I'm like, oh, what if my next transfer works? Then I'm gonna feel like, not embarrassed, but then I'm gonna feel like I was being dramatic, you know, because it's like, oh, it worked a month from now, like, why are you crying? But that's the thing, is that I don't know. I don't know what the future holds. I truly feel like I have the best people in my life. I'm like beyond grateful. I feel like everyone's, you know, been very validating. Oh, someone's here. Someone came to my house, so a lady was barking and someone was knocking on the door, so I had to stop the video. Those are pretty much all of my thoughts. I feel like I was talking, rambling. I will update you guys soon with these results from my ERA test. I start progesterone and oil shots again tomorrow, which are my least favorite thing ever. I'm not excited to be doing that twice a day, but it's only like 5 or 6 days of it, and then that procedure, and then I'll be not doing things for a few weeks, or maybe even less, honestly. I don't remember. We'll check the calendar, but that's the update for now. Thank you guys so much for being here, supporting me. I love you guys. It is the night before the Eras tour, ERA test. Same thing. I keep thinking this is called the ERA test because everything they send me, or like all my paperwork, it's like the ERA, like ERA test, and I can't, in my brain, it is the ERA test. So tomorrow is the test. They're gonna go up my coochie and take a piece of my uterine lining. I've heard mixed things. I've heard it's super painful. I've heard it's not as bad as the hysteroscopy, which I already got done. So who knows? But we're getting ready for one of my last progesterone and oil shots. We have to do another one tomorrow morning, unfortunately. We bought this today. Well, this has like some lidocaine in it, and it's a numbing cream. Or it's like a numbing pain relief thing. And I was tempted to buy numbing cream earlier just because it's not fun to have needles be going in you every day. But these specific shots, the progesterone and oil shots, the pain is internal. It's not really the needle going in that hurts the worst. It's that it's going into your muscle and it feels very tight. I've been like, oh, I don't know if it matters. However, today we ran out of our smaller needles and we only have bigger needles, like a little bit thicker, a higher gauge. Is that what it's called?
We've been using
22.
25 gauge, and these are 22.
Oh, so it's
the smaller number is the bigger circumference.
You might want to know like where the thing is. So anyway, it's gonna be a bigger needle going into me tonight, and I'm like, well, it'd be kind of nice. It just says thin layer. I will say though, this round was much better than last round as far as the pain. I've been able to completely walk, whereas last time I legitimately couldn't walk.
I just did the alcohol.
Okay. Tomorrow will be the 6th day, so I've done like 10 or 11 of the shots in the booty. Last time I was like on the verge of tears, couldn't move. I don't know. This just feels a lot better. So it's giving me a little bit of hope for like future transfer. Like if we're gonna, I don't know if we're gonna do a transfer next month because I don't know what these results are gonna be, but it definitely makes it feel a little bit more doable. I don't know if it's numb. I feel everything.
It'll be okay. 3, 2, 1.
Easy peasy. Wait, it totally numbed it. I couldn't feel anything. That looks a little sus. I would normally have to keep doing these shots, another 10 days while you were waiting. Like last time to see if we were pregnant, to see if it worked.
Yeah.
I was just having to do them every day.
And if it works, you keep going.
Keep going for like 10 until you're like 10 or 11 weeks pregnant, which is absolutely insane, but I've heard that it gets easier. I'm trying to find the pros, the silver linings of the situation. The pro is for this round of like the mock transfer, which is just the procedure, I only have to do the shots up until the procedure tomorrow, and then I'm done. So it's only like 6 days of shots instead of last time was over 2 weeks. So that's a lot more. Like, it's kind of nice to just be done, but I feel like get a little time to like recuperate. Good job.
Good job.
Good job to you. Here's my honest review of the Eras tour.
Of the
ERA test complete.
Well, extraction complete.
Yeah, we don't have results. We won't have results for a few weeks. But my doctor did say we could go right into a transfer, which I was pretty sure we could do, but I wanted to verify with him. I didn't know if there was something in these test results that could delay us, and he said basically no. Like, we can pretty much for sure go right into another transfer next month, which means I'll probably start shots for that in like a week and a half. But it'll be nice to have a week and a half off of shots. I am gonna start my period in about a week, and that's never fun, but it's all good. The test was crampy, uncomfortable, but not horrible. And I feel like mine didn't go wrong, but like, he kind of had to go in there multiple times, and I think it was unexpected.
He wanted to make sure that they got enough.
He got...
Better safe than sorry.
Yeah, basically they're going up through like a catheter to like scrape uterine lining off, and I can feel it for sure. Like when he's doing that, I can feel the cramping. And then he was like, I think I might have to go in again and I want to make sure we get enough so you don't have to, like, you know. And I agree. I'm like, I'm in here doing this, like, please make it be enough so that you look so, like, tan and dark back there. Oh, maybe you're just not in the light. Anyway, so he got enough. It lasted, like, we came at 11, or my appointment was at 11. It's 11:19. It wasn't even 20 minutes in and out. Like, it was really quick, the whole situation. And that's with me going in there, checking in, peeing. I, like, emptied my bladder, did the procedure, and it's already, like, been less than 20 minutes. So super quick and efficient. We'll have the results in a few weeks. And he said that the point of this is basically to see if my uterine lining was receptive at the time of the first transfer, like at the time of 5 days of progesterone, basically. I don't know if anyone who doesn't do IVF will understand this, but a lot of people get the results, it was completely normal. And not that it's, like, pointless, because it's good to have that knowledge anyway, but kind of hoping that there's something. I kind of hope that they're like, oh, you're pre-receptive, so this next transfer we'll do an extra day. Like, that will give me a little more hope, I think.
They're also checking the bacteria in there. Mm-hmm. So if there's bad bacteria,
they could get rid of
that
it.
out.
Yeah.
And then if you're missing good bacteria, include that.
Yeah. So looks like we'll be doing a transfer pretty soon, starting in, like, less than 2 weeks for sure. The whole process again.
Yeah.
Estrogen shots and everything.
Yeah.
So here we go again. I asked Leif if I was squeezing his hand, like, really hard, because at one point I kind of, like, realized that I was squeezing, and I was like, I think I'm squeezing really hard, actually. I wanted to know if it hurt you.
It did not hurt me, but it was tight.
Actually, I was, because you, like, when I let go for a second, when there was, like, a moment of relief, then you, like, changed your hand grip. I'm like, I think I was hurting him.
After one of, like, the main crampy spots,
yeah,
you were, like, squeezing really tight, and then he, like, took the catheter out, and you were still, like, squeezing just as tight. I'm like, you can relax.
I took today off in my calendar as far as work stuff goes, just because I had no idea. Like, they told me I could be crampy after.
So what should we do? Should we take a bath? Should we go swimming? Should we jump in the ocean?
They told me to not do it. Not do any of those 3 things. They didn't say anything about shower. No.
No, just like
submerging. I don't want to necessarily just lay all day.
No.
That's for me to say,
boring.
Not you.
That sounds boring for you to do.
Anywho, that's final review, and we're done for a couple weeks. Okay, I just sat down to film, and the dishwasher started going. I think I'm gonna take this into the living room so it's not as close and, like, as loud, to update you guys. I got my results back from my ERA test biopsy procedure thing, and it turns out that I am pre-receptive, which is, like, my best case scenario. That is what I was hoping for. I was hoping there would be an answer, because with this result, it's fixable. So what pre-receptive means is that the day that they did the embryo transfer last time probably wasn't the correct day for my specific body. I am someone who's pre-receptive, which means I need 1 extra day of the, like, shots that you do in preparation for the embryo transfer. I need an extra day of those. So most people need 5. I'm gonna do, I forget what the results said, but, like, 6 days and a few hours or something. It's, like, pretty specific, I think. Basically what that means is that for the next embryo transfer, they will have a much more accurate idea of when I'm receptive, when my body and my uterus is receptive to the embryo, which obviously just gives us a way better chance of it sticking. I'm, like, scared because I have hope again. I feel like I was really feeling like if they just called and said, yeah, we don't know, you know, all the results are normal, so we're just gonna go ahead and try again. Like, I feel like I would have just been like, you know, we're not changing anything, so who knows if it's gonna happen because it didn't work last time. Whereas, yeah, now just with this information, I feel a little bit more hopeful, which is great, but it's also a little scary because I guess every embryo transfer, I'm probably just going to, like, have hope and hope it works, which is good, but I was kind of trying to, like, have low expectations for this next one and not be as attached to it. Now I feel like I have my hopes up again because it's, my doctor was like, I'm pretty sure that's what it was. So great news all around, but I am on a lot of medication right now, just, like, oral medication, and I'm gonna start shots tomorrow. I'll be doing shots for a little while, then going into the embryo transfer again, the second one, and doing the whole thing. I forgot I was gonna take you guys through my organization process, because I need to organize my pills. I'm taking a lot of meds and they're like all very specific. Like one of them is cut the pill in half, take this pill twice a week, do this shot every 3 days, take this every morning and night, take this one every night, only at night. And I was telling Leif, I'm like, I need this to be more organized than it is, because right now I'm just going off of like, I have it written down, but I'm just like taking the medications from different places, and it's a stressful thing because it's very specific. You can't be taking the wrong dosages of medicine or forgetting to take them, because it's like very important to be prepping your body for the transfer. So I'm on edge all day being like, wait, did I do that in the morning? Okay, yeah. Oh, did I cut the pill in half? Like, it's so specific. So I'm like, I need to organize these in a pill container and have them like labeled. Okay, sorry about the freaking dishwasher. Okay, here's my pill container. So I already took today's pills, so I'm not gonna put any in that. Okay, I have these little packs that I've been taking for prenatals. I'm gonna say that like is another layer that's interesting about all of this, is that if you try and be kind of like health conscious or holistic, where you don't really want to take a bunch of medicine and like stuff, IVF is your worst nightmare, okay? That's how I feel. Like, I know it's just a chapter of life, it's not the end of the world. Obviously, it's for a good cause, but I just really hate, like, I mean, who likes it? But I don't like taking a bunch of medication. Here are my antibiotics. I only have a few more days of this. The most massive pills. That's massive to me. If my younger self could see me now, I was the worst pill taker as a child. The worst you've ever seen in your life. I couldn't even take like a Claritin that's like the size of your pinky nail. Okay, I'm trying to understand what I need. So, gosh, I'm telling you guys, it's like a math equation, because I need to take these morning and night. I'm gonna not put the night ones in here. I'm only putting morning vitamins in right now. Okay, I took one, so I need to take 2 a day, and then the last one will be on the morning of Wednesday. Only taking it at night, so that goes over here. So I'll be putting 1 in each of these. Isn't there something else? Oh, the little pill that I have to take half of. Where is that thing? I have to cut these in half, and I have to calculate when I last took one, which I also took a note of. Leif's not here, so I can't rely on a man. Really? Leif always tells me it's about leverage, not power. Okay, screw this. No pun intended. I can't get this off. Oh, it didn't work. You guys. Oh! Why is it a maraca? And I'm putting this in for 1 day this week. These are my mornings. They're all different. All have different combinations. If you don't, all right, I'm feeling good about this. I feel like that is way better for my brain. Transfer number 3 is in less than a week.
2.
I forgot. Transfer number 2, 3rd round of this stuff though. I feel like I'm doing it for the 3rd time.
Yeah.
But it is technically the 2nd transfer. My sweat's kind of pulled down. Because we're starting on progesterone and oil today. My least favorite part of this process, for sure. I went to a doctor's appointment today, got the usual blood work, ultrasound, all of that. We're doing progesterone for an extra day, this transfer, based off of my results that I've told you guys about. They said they could do the progesterone shot for me there, or we could just do it when we got home, and I just prefer to do it when we're home, because, I don't know, it just feels cozier. I can like walk around after, and plus I have the best doctor in town.
She can scream, hit me.
No, so yeah, but that's beginning today, right now. Morning and night, shots, every day.